I'm Ludovico Einaudi. Thanks for watching Music News. Subscribe here.
Ludovico Einaudi, it's a pleasure to meet you. How are you doing today?
Very good, thanks. I just arrived today from Italy, and the temperature in London is much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was very, very hot there.
Yeah. In Italy?
In Italy, 36, true. Yeah. So I feel my body and my brain works better here in this time of the year.
Great stuff. Well, here you have the honour of being the UK's most streamed classical artist. Has the UK always been a special place to you?
Yes, it has been always a special place since my childhood because I think in popular music, British music has been accompanying my life since I was a teenager, and with the Beatles and so on.
Yeah.
And so I always, since I was a child and a teenager, I used to come first with my family to England, to London. I always liked English culture, and so I'm very happy that this connection continued with my work after, and with the connection with my music. So it's fantastic for me.
Great. You've got a brand new album coming out, Elements, out on Decca in October. Can you explain a little bit behind the concept behind it?
Yes, as every time I compose a new album, even this time I wanted to start anew with a fresh perspective. So it's like you have your room, and you see the elements, the table and the chairs, and you start thinking maybe the table shouldn't be always here. Why the table should be in the center? Why the chair should be on the floor? Maybe let's. What is a chair? Why? What is a window for? And so I don't know if the connection is clear to you, but I started to question myself about everything I was doing, about the elements of my music, about how the elements of music creates a different emotion, and why they do. And so from that process I started to investigate from very far all the ideas about the ideas of creation in the mythology, in Greek writings, in ancient Greek writings, in philosophy, and I went then to have a look at the table of the elements, of the periodic elements, and think about how I could make a music based on the combination and the formula of the uranium, for example, or another element. And then I started to read geometry and think about how I could make music based on the sum of triangles, and then I was reading also the writing of Kandinsky, where he started to question about what is a point in the art, and what is a line. And I think the ocean of the territory of my knowledge is still is a bit bigger than before, but the territory of the ocean of the unknown is still very big, and in front of me there's a lot. But this process was very good for my thoughts, and when I started to make music after all these ideas and thoughts, it's like all those elements came back together and started to flow more freely from from coming out from those books and dance together. And so the exploration was good to do, and I'm very happy of the album.
Yeah, it sounds like a long process. I mean,
Yes.
you recorded
Yeah.
12 albums. Do you spend this much time on every single recording?
I spend even well, the process of thinking and reading, it can be longer than the process of composing, because I start to read a book when I'm touring, and then I find another book, and then I collect. I continue. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. But your work is featured in many films and TV productions, including the BAFTA nomination for Black Swan, Shane Meadows' This Is England, Ricky Gervais's Derek. In particular, which ones stand out for you?
For me, the collaboration with Shane Meadows on This Is England was fantastic, because I loved so much the movie and the work we have done. The type of collaboration was very nice, and I admire very much his films, and also the way he works with music in combination with the images, because it's very unpredictable, and sometimes this diversity that he managed to put together creates a very strong impact.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're a busy man. You just, the Taranta project was only released in May. I mean, another album. For somebody that is unfamiliar with that, could you give us a brief synopsis?
Yeah, the Taranta was a project that I started in 2010, and was connected to a festival of folk music from the south of Italy, the Salento area in Puglia, in the hill of Italy. And I arranged and composed, arranged traditional music, and composed on the idea of the Taranta, which is a music that is originally made. The legend is that the women working in the fields in the old times were bitten by the spider, and that spider, called the tarantula, was beating the women, and they were coming back home in a state of confusion. So the only way to make those women feel better was through a sort of ritual made by music, rhythm, played with the tambourines, and also played with melodies played with violin and accordions, with colors. So choosing the right melodies, choosing the right colors to make and create a sort of state of trance music, and a sort of trance ritual that was making, keeping these women in a way alive on the edge of collapse for 3 days, and then after those 3 days the women were feeling better. So it's a sort of ancestral, antique ritual that belongs to the south of Italy, that is also connected to other rituals that you can find in Africa. And so this exploration of music was the occasion for me to explore this music and to combine it with other musical references and traditions from African music, blues, music from Turkey, and to create a sort of multi-Mediterranean band that I work with, and I realized this album that was a beautiful experience for me to do.
Yeah, it sounds fascinating. When did you first realize that music was something that you were going to pursue for the rest of your life?
Well, I realized I started to feel close to music when I was a little kid, because my mother was playing piano at home, and so it was natural for me to be with music all the time. And when I was 16, I remember 16, 17, I realized that I couldn't live without it.
Great. And well, yeah, personal inspiration-wise, where do you draw from?
It depends from time to time. It could be from a book, from a travel that I do. Every music, every project has a different source of inspiration, and this is my way to explore the world and enlarge my horizons.
Great. I mean, you've played huge venues all over the world. You know, which ones in particular have been sort of live highlights for you?
Well, just recently in the UK, I played at Blenheim Palace.
Yeah.
That was incredibly beautiful for the palace, for the surrounding park. And also last year, I remember I played in Verona in Italy at the Arena. It was also beautiful, and I'm going to play in Rome soon at the Caracalla, Terme di Caracalla, which is probably also be very beautiful. I remember the Royal Albert Hall in London. Recently also in Lyon, in France, I played at the Roman Theatre. So I enjoy very much the historic places, and there are huge, big but also fantastic theatres and auditoriums all around Europe that are fantastic. I played at the Opera House in Sydney, so there are many.
Yeah. Why do you think your music's got such a universal appeal? What is it behind it?
I think it's a combination of elements. Talking about the elements, but it's not a joke. My background is full of different sources, a mix of folk traditions, popular music, because it's not just about mixing things. All this story about crossover, I think if you see it as a receipt, doesn't mean anything, doesn't work. You have to if you do it, you have to know how to do it, and there must be a very strong and honest reason because you do it. And I like the fact that in popular music and in folk music there is the word is direct. There is something that is true, that is talking straight from heart to heart, and I think this is very important.
Yeah. I mean, you're a proud Italian, as am I. Your grandfather, Luigi Einaudi, was president of Italy at one point. With the current situation of the euro, how do you see the future for Italy right now?
Well, I'm not. I think I'm not. This is not my work, but I think the economy is slightly going better. I can see that the country has struggled for some years, and I think I can see more light and more positive direction in the government now than before.
Good stuff. Have you got any other projects in the pipeline that you can tell us about?
Well, no, at the moment the main focus is on the release of the new album and the preparation of the tour, which will be a long tour covering 24 months. And so I'm very looking forward to prepare it properly and to prepare all the how it's organized musically and also visually, and I really try to focus on it, on the album and on this, because I think when you do one thing at a time is better.
Yeah, absolutely true. What has been the most important moment in your career, would you say?
Well, the first, the time when I started to, and when I decided to not just be only composing, but the moment where I wanted to also perform music, which happened later, because I started at the beginning more as a composer, and then I decided that I was missing something, and actually I found my perfect balance in my life, artistic and personal, when I started to balance between the work that I do in my studio and then the work that I do on the road with the concerts that I enjoy very much to do. So this gave me this moment was a key moment where also I think due to the fact that I was taking my music around and made my music creating a stronger impact on the audience, and my artistic career started to grow after that.
Great stuff. Well, thanks a lot for your time. It's been a real pleasure. If you had to choose 3 songs across your whole repertoire that sort of sum you up as an artist and composer, which 3 would you choose?
Okay. I would choose, starting from now, maybe since Elements is new, let's wait to see how it will become, because so I'm talking about a song from Time Lapse. In a Time Lapse that I would choose is Experience. Then I would choose Divenire from the album Divenire, and then I would choose Nuvole Bianche from Una Mattina.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank
Anything
you.
else you'd like to say to Music News watchers?
No, I'm fine, thanks. I think we said many things, and I really enjoyed my conversation with you.
Fantastic. Thank you very
you.
much. Same here. Thank you.